Alright, so now's the time to disassemble the interesting bits of this gun. So I'll take apart most of it. Certain things I'm not even going to bother taking off because one of the pieces I had to make myself, and I'm not even sure that's how it's taken off in the original gun, if it's screwed on like that. Because nobody seems to, or at least nobody on the internet seems to be. I'm pretty sure I could track someone down using letters, but even that's going to be difficult. So let's just start. First thing you want to do is remove the stock. In this case, I'm going to take it off with proper sized screwdriver. Very simple, it's one screw. Means you don't have to actually take the butt plate off, like in most of the modern rifles. That seems to be right out, so. Nice thing also is that none of the screws are actually the same on these guns, so you sort of do realize where they go. They're not that difficult to figure out. One screw like this one won't fit here, so you don't have a problem with that. So next you just pull the stock on it, and that's your stock. I do apologize, I do have a cold, or getting over one, or whatever you want to call it, so I do sound off a little bit. Next thing you want to do is I want to remove this because I don't need it. You could take this piece off now, so slide this back. Helps if you cock the gun first, makes it easier. Let's pull it right back completely. I'm going to do it off screen because I don't want to. Okay, never mind, I got it on screen. And then you could squeeze these two things together usually and just remove the metal. Alright, next thing to do on here is I'm going to push it forward a bit. There's a screw underneath here. Once again, you want to use a small screwdriver. And there's a piece that's going to probably fall out of the other side. So once it's unscrewed, you want to see if you can get the thing to fall out on the table like that. Putting it back together is pretty simple. I'll show you that obviously on the reassembly. Stick them together, even though, as I said, the screws are all different. I don't have to worry about it. Now this, as it's been released, it comes fully apart. Bring that forward. I could let the trigger go, but right now I don't need to. So first thing I'm going to do here is disassemble that. This is a pain a bit sometimes because in my model it's perfectly sized, so I don't know if it's just in this case here, but I might not be able to pull it out like this, so you have to use a punch. Be careful with it, obviously. You don't want to screw up anything. You don't have to hit it hard either. You just have to put it in and give it a few taps with a hammer until it moves. Alright, that might be enough to take it out. Nope, not yet. There you go. Now the screw's out. Now this comes completely apart here, so what I'm going to do is try to push it out like that. You got to watch the fire at the hammer, because it's got to clear the, and now your whole hammer group is out. For this now you just push it back right to its maximum and then lift it out. Now you got a cleared receiver. Technically you could unscrew this and just take the spring off. It isn't difficult to do. I'm not going to waste my time with it. You know how to do that. So now lastly, if you want, the parts I'm going to remove here is this. Very simple. There's just a pin sitting through here. It should come out just by pushing on it, one way or another. Which one? There you go. And then that's removable. Your firing pin won't remove right away because over the top here you have this dust plate, which I'll remove. Wrong size screwdriver. Normally I wouldn't remove it, but because we have the firing pin to remove, I'll do that for the camera. This one here is really screwed up, the screw on it. I tried to fix it a little bit, but I don't want to mess with it because it is engraved also. So I had to pretty much leave it how it was. Once again, I've got to thank the person who originally messed with it. And that's just your cover there. And now you can take your firing pin and push it back, and it comes right out. So that's your gun disassembled. There is one more piece that technically could be removed, I think. The screw that's here, and that little piece here. That's what the screw holds. I can't even tell you if that's how they're properly made, seeing as I had to make it all myself based on really bad patent pictures for it. Hopefully that's how it works. It seems to do its job. I haven't been able to test the ejection on it because extractors, as you see, are missing. There's two tusks that stick off of these things, and that's what guides the shells up into the extractors. Without it, you usually miss the extractor on the way in. It will load it, but you end up with issues. Extractors are easily removed too. All you have to do is take a small enough punch and knock the pin upwards till it clears this. This comes off easily because they're really well machined. All they are is they have a nice little loop on the back that it slides into, and it's a tiny coil spring here that just holds it in place. Nothing fantastic, nothing too difficult to do. I'm not going to do it this time right now. I might do it when I have to take them off to rebuild the pieces on it, and maybe I'll make a video then. But right now I want to leave them on just so I don't lose pieces. Like I said, to take them off, very simple. Just have the right size punch, and you don't have to remove the pins completely unless you want to change your pins. Once they get to here, they'll stay in place, and you could just remove the further disassembly. You could unscrew this if you want to change the, and I could do it right now because it isn't very difficult to do. Hopefully I'll not break the 10-minute mark doing it. Also, before you do that, before you undo the spring here, don't make a mistake like I almost did. From here, pull on it, hold down and release the hammer. That way the hammer is no longer pushing on the spring, and the spring almost basically removes itself. So that's unscrewed. Unscrewed. The rest I wouldn't take apart unless I really had to, and in this case I'm not going to take it apart, just because there are little pieces in there that I don't think were ever designed to be taken apart by anyone but factory people. This here is the inertia weight for the automatic unlock of the gun. I'll show you that in the other video. And to remove, if you want to remove this, all you have to do is push out the pin that's in the center there, and your hammer will come off, and you'll be able to get at all the other little pieces. There's a tiny, well, there's a spring that you see from here. It runs right up into there, and that's what lets it click into place like this. Once again, I'm not going to take that apart because I don't need to on this gun. I almost feel like fixing the hammer a bit, but I'm not even going to do that because it does hold still and it's not a problem. But that's, like I said, there's a few pins here you can remove the rest of it with, but as it is an older gun, I'm not going to mess with this. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helped for some people who wanted to see how these things look inside, because we don't actually get to see them often. And please, if you have any questions, just write a comment at the bottom. And thanks for watching.